Alright, what's up YouTube? If you've seen my not new AR video, this is like an update to that. I changed Irene, was what I was calling her, around a little bit because the height over bore was an issue trying to shoot long ranges. There were some benefits to having an AR like this with fixed carry handle, and I pointed them out on that video. And if you've got a close quarters or a home defense AR like this, it's very doable, and watch that video. There's some really good points on there. But for what I do with this, I had to switch it up, and I have this. My favorite long range AR is this couldnt hbar with free float handguards, and but the Acog wasn't doing it enough justice for the Colorado ranges. We're shooting 550 yards and further than that, so I wanted something with more magnification and a bullet drop compensator to really give this hbar justice. And this scope, this Leupold Mark AR, really did it. It's an awesome scope, and so when I took that off, I figured, well, now I've got this Acog lying around. I've got this this old school AR that with a fixed carry handle that I can't really shoot long range at because of the height over bore. It was really throwing the round off, and it was a lot of guessing, and it was messing me all up. And like I said, most of this shooting out here in Colorado is long range, so I had to change the upper, and then I also wanted to change the handguards from these old plastic handguards to a quad rail. And then of course I switched out the upper, right? I'll get rid of that. Right now, next thing I'm going to talk about, when you go to do something like that, or when you go to buy stuff for the AR, what I have noticed is the trend right now in the AR world is to rip people the fuck off. It is getting ridiculous. A lot of y'all know me, LSKW1, the damn, 45 reason. You know that I did some time in the sandbox, and I know that there's nothing wrong with a mil-spec upper receiver made of T70, 75, whatever the fuck it's called, T6 aluminum, basically aircraft quality aluminum. There's nothing wrong with this. This is what soldiers use all the time in the desert, and I've never seen these crack or have a problem or anything like that. Well, when I went to the gun store, this motherfucker who's never heard of shot fired in anger is trying to tell me that I should buy a $200 upper receiver, and I was astonished. It had, of course, some company logo on it, who was founded by some SF dude, of course, and for some reason that makes it a lot more expensive, and I didn't see the point. I told him I wanted the cheapest but a mil-spec upper receiver. I even told him I've used Colt issued parts in the desert, and they did me fine. And when he understood that I knew that I don't need a $200 upper receiver, he just kind of diverted his business schemes elsewhere. But so I instead of 200 bucks, I went on Brownells, and I found this. It was completely stripped. It didn't have a dust cover or forward assist, for 69 bucks, right? And what I did, I got that one, and then once you take off the barrel and the delta ring, you slide this pin right here out, and the dust cover will come off, and then this, with a punch, you can get the forward assist out, and then I put the new forward assist on here. Brought it out to the range, and I shot it. I shouldn't have, but I should have waited till I got my handguards in, and I zeroed it. It worked awesome. And another thing I want to talk about, if you guys if you guys have an ACOG and you're running into issues on how to zero them, I have this M4 ACOG M4 zero targets. You go on the internet and you can print these off if you've got a printer. This is the ACOG zero target. You set this at 25 meters is the easiest, and I love zeroing like this. You put the tip of your chevron here, and then you want your bullets to impact here. And all you got to do is Google M4 zero targets, and these will pop up, and they're pretty sweet, and you can print them out and have as many as you want. And then when you do that, this BDC, this bullet drop compensator, will be good to go out to 100 yards and all that. You want to reconfirm at 100 yards, and you know, all that good stuff. But it'll be good to go. All right. Now, so I had switched this upper receiver for 69 bucks instead of getting ripped off. And then my next thing was the handguards. Well, I go to that same gun store, and this asshole's trying to sell me handguards for 300 bucks to 400 bucks. No. Fuck that. That's ridiculous. We didn't use free flow handguards in Afghanistan. Reason being, we rode around in vehicles a lot, and in Chinooks, they're helicopters with two rudders and a lot of vibration. You're getting bounced around. When you have a free flow barrel, you've really got to protect it. You can lose your zero a lot easier because there's nothing holding that barrel. You know, you can, if you drop the weapon, you might want to bring it back to the range and make sure, or run a collimator through it or a bore sighter and make sure that it's still zero or pretty close. It doesn't look too crazy. So on a fighting gun, which this is a mid-range and even a home defense AR, you keep two eyes open and you can use that tip of the chevron as a close quarters reference. And that's the awesome thing about the ACOG. It's very versatile. But I've had too much coffee this morning. I'm getting off subject. But no, I'm not. But so this is a mid-range AR, and I don't need free flow handguards on it. I paid 49 bucks for this quadro. It's from a company called NC Star. I don't really care what their background is, what any bad history about them, anything like that. Handguards to me need to be metal and solid and have no wiggle, and that's why I tend, when I'm gonna not go free floating, I like to go with handguards that have Allen keys where you can insert them in there. The only thing about it is when you put these on there and you tighten these Allen keys down, you can Loctite and all that, you need to go to the range and re-zero it, because it's going to shift your barrel a little bit. The cool thing about them being very solid and with no wiggle is when you're holding it and you put pressure on the barrel, it's not going to change it too much. It's holding that barrel in there pretty solid. And now if it's bouncing around in the truck behind my truck behind my seat, I'm not too worried about losing a zero because it's not free floating. And it's all you need, really. I don't understand why people are paying so much lately. It's ridiculous. I think it's a lot of things out there look like stuff they see on TV, or you know, maybe somebody famous, some SF dude or some famous competition shooter is using that product. You gotta remember, man, that dude's getting paid to use that and things like that, and you gotta be careful with what you buy. Like I said before, there's a really good book out there you want to read. It's called Green Eyes and Black Rifles, and that's one of the things he talks about with handguards is, I mean, it's a piece of metal, seriously. I would never pay $300 for some free flow handguards. These are YHM free flow handguards, and they're about 100 bucks, and they work awesome. Never had them get loose. There's no wiggle, nothing like that. Looks like I'm up on time, so I'm gonna have to make this a two-part. Well, nah. I think I said all I had to say and explain this pretty much. Yeah, it's not much to explain. But, alright. See you guys.